Are you new to Final Fantasy and you're looking for quick ways to make Gil at low levels? Well, I recently returned myself and have ran into similar situations. And asking and looking online, a lot of people will just tell you to rush to the end game, try to get level 99 as fast as possible, and the Gil will come. But as someone who likes to experience the game, slow burn, level at my own pace, that advice isn't really for me. So I found a few ways to make a lot of Gil at very low levels. And to show that off, I've created a level 1 character here, and I'm going to keep it level 1. To show off how you too can make up to millions of Gil without even leaving your home city. So, to start off, when you first create a character, you don't really have many options at all. You literally have no Gil. 10 Gil, correction. And an adventure certificate that's worth 50 more. So we do need to find a way to at least get some starter Gil, so we can try to start filling our coffers here. So most new players, the first thing you're going to want to do is start Records of Eminence here. Go into your quests, go into your objective lists, use the tutorial basics, first step forward. This will tell you which NPC in your city you need to speak to start. For Basokir, it is Isakath. You'll get a lengthy little cutscene, and this will unlock ROE, or Records of Eminence, for you. A big way to make Gil in this game in general now is through Records of Eminence. You can take the sparks you get for completing these quests and use them to buy all manner of equipment, and then you can then sell that equipment to NPCs in the game, and you can end up with quite a bit of Gil. It's not as easy to get sparks at lower levels as it is at higher levels, so I think it's a bit of not the correct way to approach it, to just tell new characters like farm sparks. It's just not as feasible. Again, if you're 99, sure. So it is a good way though to take our initial sparks we do get and get at least a little Gil that we can then use to do some other cool things I'm going to show you to get even more Gil. So you'll get this small little cutscene, you'll complete your objective, it'll unlock ROE, we can immediately talk to him, and we're going to buy some gear. We have 300 sparks, which isn't a lot. We want to get the most expensive thing we possibly can with 300. It'll be worth the most money. So usually I'll start with something like maybe the Gladius here, level 27. If you can even find something in the higher levels for 300, that'd be awesome too. Let's see what's in the 30. We do have some good options here. Can we get even higher? Can we get into the 40s? Perfect. Bone knife is only 90. I wonder what we can get with 3 bone knives. Let's try this. We'll grab 3 bone knives. The other nice thing here is, since I'm not going to highly recommend, I mean, obviously, later game, sparks equals Gil, sure. But as a new player, it's nice to be able to buy the equipment you want from that vendor. And, you know, not just rush to the highest level. So why not save those sparks for your equipment and make Gil another way? So bone knives here, we're going to get 700 Gil for each of these. Not bad. You could even sell your meat jerky as well that you start the game with here. And we're going to end up with a nice little starter amount of Gil, about 2,000 Gil. So what you want to do next is, the way I've been making money at low level is I've been finding NPCs that sell items that adventurers want, but your average level 99 adventurer with plenty of money is too lazy to even go to the NPC and buy them. So a good thing I found is find your like local magic store in whatever city you're in. You'll see this like big scroll up here that will indicate where in your city the magic store is. And we're gonna want to go and we're just gonna buy spells. We're gonna buy low level spells that cost virtually nothing, and we're gonna flip them. And you'll see quickly here just how much we can flip. Now, Some servers, depending on the size, the amount of money you can make, and the speed at which some of the stuff sells, your mileage may vary here. But it's not just spells. You can look for things that people might use, like different medicines from a vendor, or I think some vendors sell pickaxes for mining, right? You can resell those. So your creativity is really the limit into how much gil you can make. You might be able to find some really cool stuff. Just walk around your city, talk to any NPCs you find, see if they sell stuff, see what they sell, and just check the auction house, right? So let's grab like stone. Let's grab poison. Just anything super cheap. Blind is pretty cheap. Over here will be the white magic. Pure. Poisana. Dia. And we still have plenty of money. Let's do Paralina for our last one. Now don't spend all your money here. Make sure you keep a little bit. You're going to need to pay auction house fees for listing these items. So you definitely want to go ahead and hold on to like 1,000 gil. I mean, worst case, you can farm a little more sparks, get a little more gil to help like kind of fund this. But the goal of this character is I really want to showcase that your level doesn't matter as far as trying to make gil. So if you want to enjoy the game at your own pace, if you want to experience the story, if you don't want to just rush to level 99, but you're like, I really would like some gil to buy maps, or you know, just buy some fun equipment, medicine, that kind of stuff, you know, your sneak oils, your prism powders. This is going to be a very viable way to do it that I feel like not enough people talk about. A lot of people will be like, hey, just level thief, go find some camps, farm silk, farm beehive chips, right? But this is a nice, super easy way to do this. You could even set up like a level 1 mule that you just log into and check the auction house. Very passive, great for people who don't have a lot of playtime. So we're gonna just go ahead and try to sell these items. Remember that we paid less than a couple hundred gil for every one of these scrolls we just picked up. This one sells for 30,000. And while your mileage may vary as like how often they sell, they do sell. And just because we just want to flip them, I mean, we're just going to undercut the shit out of this. So if you're familiar with how the auction house works in Final Fantasy, the first one that sells is the cheapest one listed. So if I list this for like 5,000 and one, it has a good chance of selling. Maybe we only sell it for like 8,000, but again, we paid a couple hundred gil for this stuff. Stone's another good one. It looks like stone can get pretty cheap, so I'm just going to put in for like a little bit, 2,001. Again, if it sells, we're already making like 2,000%. You can see here someone did try to sneak one in there for just 200 gil for poison. We're gonna do a little higher. Let's try to get at least 15 out of it. Blind. Ooh, blind wasn't worth much. We might not flip this one. It's great if you can to run back and forth from some of these NPCs and just see what the profit margins are. You know, maybe have a little notepad open, take some notes. But eventually you're going to get a real good vibe for what things are selling for, what can give you the most profit margins. Cure. It's just basic cure that you would start the game with, 30,000 gil. So this may seem really silly, like who would pay that much, but you can see their sales history, and it's high levels who don't want to be bothered with having to find an NPC to buy the scroll. They're millionaires, they're in front of an auction house, they're just going to pay the money. So if you look, we started out with what? We had like 2,000 gil. If we were to sell everything we have listed at what we put it up for, which it may sell a bit higher, we're looking at close to 100,000 gil here. So you've taken your starting character that we made 5 minutes ago with no gil, grab a couple things from a spark vendor just to go buy some magic, throw it up in the auction house, you're already going to be sitting at about 100,000 gil. Now, once you have a decent amount made, You can keep buying from NPCs, you can keep looking for unique opportunities, sure. But there's even more we can do once we have Gil, right? It takes Gil to make Gil. So we're gonna hop into the Mog House here. We're gonna wait for this stuff to sell. And then once we get that money, we'll kind of work in a part 2 of the video where I'll show how we can make even more Gil off this. It's been less than 48 hours since I recorded the first part of the video there, where we bought and listed the scrolls. I just wanted to give it an opportunity for some of this stuff to sell. Now, I'm not going to assume everything sold, but I'm going to guess enough stuff sold that we're going to have some money already, and I can show you guys a little more about how this works. Pop it in the Moogle, your Mog House, delivery box, receive, and we'll see what all sold here. Alright, not bad. I think we sold literally everything we listed. Our scroll blind, stone, cure, poison. Yeah. So that. Alright. So our scrolls sold well. We got 180,000 Gil. So it's, for the most part, I mean, it's that easy. Like, you just go to your magic shop, go to some of your accessory shops, maybe items that are consumables would be probably well too. As you get Rhapsodies, you probably flip stuff from the Curio Moogle. There's lots of cool opportunities, but it's all about kind of getting a habit of what you know sells fast, what sells for like a crazy price, and you can just kind of run your own little markets. If something price crashes on something, you can just swap to something else. I have a spreadsheet I use where I just mark the stuff that's selling and works and what I get the most Gil from. And I just list and play the auction house. I mean, we can see here that the playtime on this character is what we've been messing with this for, and for recording 40 minutes. But I mean, realistically, this video is going to be like a 10-minute video. So like within 10 minutes, you can make 200,000 Gil at level 1 on a brand new character, right? It's pretty easy, and we can scale from here. I'll show you a couple little extra bonus tips here at the end. One tip I like to do is if you just go into the white magic scrolls, you can fish around and just start checking stuff and seeing like how much it sells for and how fast. And try to find some outliers, things that sell for like a ton. Then you can pop on the wiki, try to figure out where that vendor is, see how much it sells for, and see if that's something that would be cost effective for you to sell. Apologize to this gentleman that I keep targeting by mistake. Another thing you can do is you can treat the auction house like an NPC you're flipping from. A lot of times I'll just go under materials. Leathercraft's usually pretty good. And you can check some of these, and a lot of times stacks will sell cheaper than singles. Mostly because people need only a single item and they don't want to pay for the stack. So if you have the patience, you could buy a stack. See here, this is a good example. Tiger hides are 80, or tiger leather. Yeah, okay, and then single tiger leathers are 20. You could buy one of these for 80k, piece them out for 20 a piece, and then you'd walk away with 240k, so you'd triple your money. And you can see the sales here. They're selling at least, it looks like 5 a day, maybe more by the end of the day. So you might be able to flip like an entire stack in 2 days and triple your initial investment. So at this point, we have 200k Gil. That might not be a bad choice. You're gonna find things in the material section that just sell way more consistently than the scrolls we put up. Like I said, if the scrolls sell, they're gonna be a huge profit margin. You'll also see outlier things. I've noticed this is what I found earlier. A stack of rabbit hides. You can buy a whole stack for 3,000 to 5,000 Gil. The individuals sell for 4,000 to 5,000 Gil. So you literally make all your money back selling one, and then it's pure profit. And there's tons of stuff in the auction house like this. You just have to kind of like take a few minutes, go through, see what you can manipulate here in the auction house. And then if you're looking like for end game, some of these like higher level items, There's no stacks up right now, but a stack sells anywhere from 6 to 9 million for these pelts. But if you look, the individual pelts sell for around 1 million a pop. So if you could get a stack for 6 to 9 mil, sell it, you'll end up with 12 mil. And while the profit percent isn't as high, it's they're quick sales, and you're gonna make 3 million gil in like the course of 2 days, one or 2 days. But you need to start like growing your income on smaller stuff first, so you can start actually like playing with the big boys and selling the like the million gil plus items. But that's how you start making the real money. At that point, you can be selling things like those pelts and making several million gil a day doing this, rather than just a couple 100,000 a day. But you can see where if we just did just magic scrolls for a week at level 1, we'd be a millionaire without ever leaving the city. So that's kind of it. Again, as creative as you can get, as much work as you can kind of put into studying the auction house, looking for different NPC vendors, seeing what sells, seeing what doesn't, you can make an absolute ton of gil. Now, rushing to level 99, doing endgame content, I'm sure that might be faster in most cases for most people. But again, if you're just here to play the game, you want to go at your own pace, you've been playing for 3 weeks, you're only level 30, you got no gil, I mean, this is a great opportunity, especially if you don't play that often. Throw some scrolls up, come back when you can play on the weekend, start off your Friday night with a couple 100,000 gil, and have fun with it. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to be doing more guides here in the future. I also live stream the game both on Twitch and YouTube every single night, so if that's something you're interested in, just drop a subscribe on the old YouTube channel here, and we'll catch you next time. All right, see ya.